What did the British ever do for us? Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be watching a video that has been highly recommended to me in those past weeks, months, and not years. That would be a lie. But people have told me in the comments to watch this video because they really want to see what I think about it. The video is from a channel called Reef Rebels. I don't know the channel, I don't know what they usually do, but they made a video about what did the British ever do for us. And apparently he's going to talk about inventions, because that's what the comments said to me, about inventions of the British people. Me as a German, when I think about British inventions, I feel so sorry, but I gotta tell you the truth. I gotta stay honest here. Thinking about it for 10 seconds, the only one that comes to mind is the Mini Cooper, and that's probably very bad. I feel so sorry, but I just want to be honest. And I'm pretty sure that I know a lot more. If I would give myself like 10 minutes to think about this, I think I would know a lot more, but I gave myself only 10 seconds, so this is it. The Mini Cooper. I have to live with that. But I assume that I'm gonna be more educated after watching this video. Also, there's gonna be another two-parter because this video is almost 15 minutes long. Let's see how much I can learn from it and jump straight into the video.
What did the British, ever do for us scientifically?
Okay.
Nowadays, our education system regards the British as brutal colonists who enslaved populations, subjugated the world. Out of roughly 200 countries in the world today, the Brits colonised, settled or invaded about 90% of them, which I think is fairly impressive, or at least I think the Romans would think it was impressive. But would we have been better off without those bastard Brits? Now, as
Why
it
is he
happens,
calling them
they may
bastard
have
Brits?
some redeeming features. If you look at
I
their
don't like
scientific
that.
contribution, at least. Now, this is a slightly different video to normal, and I'm going to talk about the British scientific and technological achievements and inventions, even though I could mention trivial things like the British invention of some of the best countries in the world, like Australia, Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, America. Well, maybe not invented, but they were certainly highly influenced. Or even the only decent country in the Middle East, which is Israel, courtesy of Mr. Balfour, and many other countries that have a great deal to be proud of, such as Malaya, South Africa, Fiji, Kenya, Botswana, Sri Lanka, India, all wonderful British creations. But we're a science channel, and we're going to look at science. Now, the list is long of scientific achievements, and I'm only going to look at the really big ones and some of the more important ones. Let's start.
Okay, let's see.
Let's start with transport and engines. So the British invented the railways, steel tracks, railway locomotives. In fact, wherever the British went,
I kind of knew
railways
that.
followed. So they
Shoot.
put in railways in Germany, India, South America, and of course everybody copied that. Then we have the modern bicycle, initially called the Rover Safety Bicycle, apparently. Chain drive, caster steering, and relatively small wheels, invented by the Rover Company. In fact, in Poland, the word for bicycle is Rover. And yes, it's the same company that makes Land Rovers. Now, the British obviously invented the first engines, which was the steam engine, and that broke us free from back-breaking animal and human-powered devices. Now, while the British were inventing the steam engine, they of course had to invent the piston, and more importantly, the piston ring that seals the piston, a truly remarkable technological invention which is even now being developed further.
Wow, okay, those are big inventions.
The piston ring is the basis for petrol engines and diesel engines, in fact, virtually every engine. So no Brits, no engines. Next, they invented the first engine-powered ships, obviously steam-powered.
Okay, stupid German speaking. But I thought that everything car was invented by Mr. Benz from Mercedes-Benz, because he invented the very first car. At least that's what I thought. And I thought that by inventing the car, they are talking about the technology behind the car, making a mobile thing move by using engines. So I'm confused. If the Brits invented the engines, what else did Mr. Benz invent then? Okay, it says it here. The heart of the car was a single-cylinder four-stroke engine. So he invented the four-stroke engine? I'm confused. If there are any automobile nerds out there watching this video at the moment, please explain to me. Maybe there's a difference that I, as a person that has nothing to do with stuff like this in real life, like I don't really see a difference between, or maybe this is just a language barrier, but I feel like a four-stroke engine and this would be the same. Okay, this feels like a dangerous video because, to be honest, I feel as stupid as I've ever felt watching this one because I have no clue and still I'm talking about stuff that I don't have a clue about. However, I do want to share my honest reaction, and those are it. I have no clue. Please educate me. Let's continue.
Next, they invented the first engine-powered ships, obviously steam-powered, ships' propellers, steel ships,
Wow.
the steam turbine,
Those are all
initially for
so
powering ships, but now it
important.
powers the generators in every coal electricity generating plant and every nuclear generating plant. So that's about 50% of all the electricity that's generated today, all courtesy of Mr. Parsons. Then we have the jet engine. Yes, the Germans independently invented it in the Second World War. The turboprop engine, invented by the Brits, the first turboprop aircraft. So if you don't fly in an airplane powered by a jet engine, which was largely due to the Brits, it's a turboprop airplane, which was invented by the Brits.
So without the Brits, we wouldn't have cars, boats, ships, and airplanes. What the hell? All of those things are essential, basic things that you would need in order for the world to prosper. I don't even want to imagine a world without those inventions. I mean, maybe it would have been better because we would have never invented the internet and people wouldn't be so freaked up out like they are at the moment because of the internet. So that, I don't know about that one. But on the other hand, nothing in society, in any country would have worked without ships, airplanes, and cars. What the heck? I had no idea. This is so interesting.
And of course, the turboprop is the basis of the gas turbine, which is used to generate another 20% of the world's electricity.
Electricity!
We also have the modern car layout. Front drive, transverse engine, independent suspension, CV joints on the front wheels. Before that, companies tried all sorts of arrangements. So, for example, the Germans famously had the engine and everything at the back, but since 1959, most cars use the Mini Minor equivalent. Ever been on a vehicle that uses steel wheels? Pretty uncomfortable. But don't worry, the Brits invented the pneumatic tyre. So it looks like the British have invented pretty much everything that runs on the road. They didn't invent the road, that's just about it. Well, actually they did. Tarmac roads, or tarmacadam, was invented by a Scot and a Welshman.
What?
Then we have steel bridges. And here's a very interesting one, the modern traffic roundabout in the 1960s. Now, you might think that roundabouts have been around since way before the 1960s, but the Brits had the inspired idea of changing the rules for the roundabout. In other words, yield to enter, which massively increases the efficiency of the roundabout. Then we have the cat's eye reflector. Caterpillar tracks, which the Brits invented just before they invented the tank. So there's much more we could talk about in terms of transport technology, but we must move on to other industrial and technological stuff. Now,
I don't think, the heck? I can't believe that's true. Hearing all of that, I feel so unreal that one single country has changed the whole plot of the world with their inventions. How is that even possible? If every single country would have had that many great inventions, we would be at a very different place right now. Like every single one of them has changed our world for the better. Some of them for the worse, maybe. But we are so much more connected due to all of those inventions. We could exchange goods, we could visit each other's countries, learn about other people because we can visit the actual country and get to know them in person. And the whole economy of the whole planet is based on moving goods from one country to another. And all of that, like if it were for one invention only, like just the ships or just the airplanes or just the cars, but all three of them have been invented by the Brits. Are you freaking kidding me? Those are some clever people. You are some clever people over there. I am impressed. And I had no idea. So my one invention from the beginning seems even dumber now. Although it was a car, so there's that. Let's continue.
Of course, Britain famously started the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th century, and it's debated why it started in the United Kingdom, but clearly there was something special going on that made that spark. And of course, it started in the textile and agricultural industry. In the textiles, they invented the flying shuttle, powered looms, the spinning mill for making threads. In fact, if you didn't have the Brits, you don't have the very fine modern clothing which we have now, which is also incredibly cheap compared with what it used to be. In the agricultural industries, there are all sorts of mechanical devices like the mechanical seed drill, the haymaking threshing machine, but also really important things like phosphate fertilizer production, selective breeding. But that's just the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. If you're going to have an Industrial Revolution, you need a big build buildings. And so the British gave us Portland cement, a revolutionary type of cement.
No way.
Where would we be without it? Then we have things like steel boring machines, which led to the modern lathe, which is ubiquitous in metal cutting. Hyper-accurate machines for measuring things, the micrometer, for instance. You cannot have modern engineering unless you have hyperfine methods for measuring things. We have stainless steel, the production of polyethylene, very famous plastic used in just about everything. The steel hammer for forging steel and making it much stronger. The Bessemer steel process, the first mass production of steel effectively. And then the mass production of glass using the now ubiquitous virtually tin flotation method.
What?
All right, let's go a little bit electrical. So the first long-distance communication cables were invented by the Brits, the coaxial cable. This was used for underwater cables to link the UK to America and other places. The first intercontinental communication, the birth of the internet in a sense. It was the first time that we could communicate all around the world.
So not only exchanging goods with other countries, but being connected to other countries via telephone. What the hell? Do you know what I wonder? I wonder if you, like, listening to this man saying all of this stuff, it feels as if the Brits have invented everything that we use and everything that we are nowadays, because without all those inventions, the world wouldn't be where it is at the moment. So, I wonder if you could make a video like this about every other country in the world. Or if this is exceptional, because it feels exceptional. It feels as if they have invented more and more important things for the world than other countries. So I would really want to know, I'm curious whether this is exceptional or whether other countries have equally as many inventions that are important to the world, and we're just putting the focus on the UK with this video. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm explaining this wrong, but it feels so unreal to hear all of this for the very first time.
The telephone. Alexander Graham Bell
Oh,
was a
yeah,
Scotsman.
I knew
Television, liquid crystal, cavity magnetron. You've never heard of the cavity?
that. No.
It's in your microwave, but probably more importantly, the first radars to a large extent used the cavity magnetron, which was a revolution. Then if we go a little bit medical, we've got CAT scanners,
No way.
ultrasound scanners,
What?
the first town to have chlorinated water. How about the first electronic programmable computer to crack German codes in the Second World War? Accurate navigation using highly accurate clocks, the chronometers, and the first workable atomic clock. Then we have the World Wide Web, a gas
No
stove,
way.
tin cans, and a really big one. I know you've been wondering where I get to this one. An alarm clock that makes tea.
What?
Again, I could have added.
I want that. I want that. I really wish. I mean, I guess the fact that it's not existing anymore nowadays means that it wasn't that useful. But this is a really cool idea. And also, let's talk real quick about the freaking internet. Are you kidding me? What did you do, guys? What did you do? You had so many good inventions and then you invented the internet? Why? If you'd be sarcastic, you could say that the Brits invented all the really big things that helped humanity grow, and then finally they became so tired about all these good inventions that they really wanted to invent something that destroys everything that they've built the last 100 years. They're like, yes, internet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't mean that. It's just a joke. Oh gosh. This video is so freaking good. Okay, we're at 9 minutes into the video, so we're gonna pick up where we left off in this one, and we're gonna talk about or listen to what else he's gotta say in the second part. You guys, I feel so impressed about all those inventions. And also, I feel really surprised because I had no idea. I mean, I heard about Bell before, but what about all those other inventions? It feels like I've been sleeping over the last 40 years of my life, not knowing about all of this. That's how it feels like. It's like, oh, I'm finally awake. It's unimaginable, to be honest, and I had no idea it existed, so no wonder you guys were like flooding my comment section and telling me over and over again that I have to watch this very video, because this is something else. I can't even like tell you how thankful I am for all those inventions, because you've made our lives easier, so much easier. Thank you so much. A very big thank you to all of you Brits out there. And I can't wait to watch the second part. I'll see you in a few days. Stay happy and healthy. Bye!